There are objects in your bedroom that may seem harmless, but over time they can affect your sleep, your mind, and even your health. What many folks don't realize is that certain items collect more than just dust. They hold memories, energies, and patterns that become silent obstacles to well-being as we get older. Edgar Cayce, known for his insights into health and spirituality, warned that the environment where we sleep profoundly influences our physical and emotional balance. As we age, our bodies need more harmony, less visual clutter, and fewer unnecessary stimuli. The question is, what's really occupying your space, and is it helping or hindering you? Today, you're going to discover 6 things that need to go out of your bedroom, and why. And if this resonates with you, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel to continue receiving content that respects your journey and helps improve your day-to-day life. Some things we keep close to us give us a false sense of comfort. They've been there so long they seem like part of the scenery, but they might be blocking what you need most: real rest and peace of mind. As the years go by, the bedroom needs to be a space of renewal, not accumulation. Cayce said that every object has a frequency, and that sleeping in an environment polluted by unnecessary items can interfere with the body's natural cycles. A classic example is electronics that continue to emit light and energy even in standby mode. Leaving the television on at night or charging your cell phone next to the bed are common habits, but they create an invisible field of agitation. This can disrupt deep sleep, which is essential for the body's recovery. An ideal bedroom needs silence, darkness, and lightness. Another often ignored element is excessive furniture. Many bedrooms become repositories for extra chairs, unused tables, or cluttered bookshelves. And while it may seem like just a space issue, the truth is that visual excess creates tension in the brain, especially at night. Cayce advised that everything around us while we sleep acts on us, even without us realizing it. The subconscious picks up signals all the time, and this can cause restlessness, confused dreams, and even fatigue upon waking. Keeping only what's necessary in the bedroom is an act of self-care. More open spaces convey tranquility, facilitate circulation, and help the mind slow down. By eliminating what's superfluous, you create not only more physical space, but also inner space. In addition to unnecessary furniture, it's common to find in the bedroom a large amount of stored clothing that is no longer worn. They sit forgotten in drawers or piled on chairs, collecting dust, stagnant energy, and even memories that no longer make sense. Edgar Cayce taught that everything we hold on to out of attachment interferes with the renewal of the soul. The bedroom, being an intimate space, needs to reflect your current version, not the old versions you've outgrown. Keeping what you don't use sends the body the feeling of weight and stagnation. And this manifests as discouragement, difficulty sleeping, or even indisposition upon waking. Clothes that no longer fit or don't suit who you are today should be donated or removed. The bedroom should be a place of presence and lightness, not a museum of old phases of life. Another sensitive point involves sentimental objects, especially those that carry pain, loss, or unresolved longing. Photographs, letters, memories of people who have passed away, or of difficult times, can keep an emotional wound open, even if you don't realize it. Cayce always spoke about the importance of ending cycles with gratitude, but also with detachment. Having items in the bedroom that evoke sadness weakens the emotional field and directly interferes with the quality of rest. It's not about erasing memories, but about knowing where in the house they should be. The bedroom should be a sanctuary of rest, not a space for painful memories. By selecting what remains and what can follow another path, you practice an act of self-love that brings immediate lightness to the environment and the soul. And if you still keep expired medications, old cosmetics, or forgotten bottles on the nightstand, know that this also influences your well-being. These items accumulate not only deteriorated substances, but also the unconscious idea that there is disorganization and carelessness in the air. Cayce warned that even small sources of disorder undermine vital energy over time. The environment communicates subtle messages to the body, and the daily sight of expired things conveys an idea of ending, of wear and tear, of accelerated aging. Renovating the space where you rest is also a way to renew your own energy, A clean room, with useful objects in good condition, reinforces the feeling of vitality and self-care. Small gestures like these help transform the routine in a profound and silent way. Something even more common, but rarely questioned, are mirrors positioned inadequately within the bedroom. Many believe that mirrors only decorate or enlarge the space, but Cayce warned about the effects they can have during sleep. A mirror reflecting directly on the bed can interfere with the body's regeneration processes, as the subconscious remains alert to the reflection even during sleep. This can generate restlessness, mild insomnia, or that feeling of tiredness that isn't justified upon waking. If there are mirrors in the bedroom, ideally they should not directly reflect who is lying down. More than aesthetics, the position of a mirror can influence the energetic and emotional field. In many cases, just moving the mirror brings noticeable relief and an improvement in the quality of rest. Another habit that's little noticed but quite harmful is bringing worries into the bedroom through papers, bills, schedules, or task notes. When these items are visible next to the bed, the mind doesn't disconnect from the day's problems. Cayce advised that the bedroom should be a space where the soul is relieved of the weight of the world, and not an extension of the office or the routine. Seeing a bill to pay or a pending task before bed is like triggering a silent alarm in the brain. It enters a state of alert, releasing substances that make relaxation difficult. Therefore, keep everything that refers to obligations, deadlines, or demands out of the bedroom. Leave this space reserved for what inspires, welcomes, and comforts. A simple change in this habit can restore nocturnal peace more effectively than many imagine. It's also important to observe the type of lighting present in the bedroom. White, cool, and intense lights, although they seem modern, are enemies of deep sleep. Cayce recommended the use of yellowish and soft lights at night as they respect the body's natural rhythms. As we age, sensitivity to light intensifies, and inadequate lighting can compromise not only sleep, but also mood and disposition throughout the day. If possible, opt for lamps with warm light and avoid ceiling lights that shine directly on the eyes. The lighting should prepare the body for rest, not activate it as if it were daytime. This small adjustment transforms the bedroom into a more welcoming and harmonious space, reinforcing the idea that, at the end of the day, the body deserves to switch off with dignity and comfort. Often, we leave books, magazines, or even newspapers in the bedroom that are no longer useful, taking up space and accumulating stagnant energy. Even when they're not read, these materials act on the environment, as they transmit ideas, information, and emotions that remain there, printed and silent. Cayce taught that everything around us, even apparently harmless, vibrates in some way and influences our personal field. Having sad stories, negative news, or dense content next to the bed can load the environment with unnecessary tension. The ideal is to keep only materials that bring inspiration, lightness, or useful knowledge, and even more importantly, avoid the habit of reading heavy subjects before bed. The content we absorb in the last minutes of the day accompanies our mind during sleep and can impact how we wake up the next day. Another factor of great impact is the presence of heavy, old, or difficult to clean rugs in the bedroom. Although many consider them just a part of the decoration, Cayce warned that elements on the floor absorb a significant amount of energy from the environment. Rugs that accumulate dirt, dust, or are made of overly synthetic materials can contribute to allergies, breathing difficulties, and a feeling of stuffiness. In addition, they hinder the circulation of air and energy in the room, making the environment more loaded and oppressive. As we age, the body begins to respond with more sensitivity to these details. Light, easy-to-wash rugs in light colors help keep the space clean, healthy, and pleasant. Comfort should be accompanied by practicality and well-being, and this starts with the elements we have under our feet. And there's something else that almost no one notices: the aromas that are impregnated in the bedroom. Old perfumes, cosmetics that have been open for years, strong cleaning products, or candles with artificial fragrances create an olfactory mix that, over time, can generate discomfort or even malaise. Cayce said that smell is one of the most subtle doors of the soul, and everything we breathe directly influences our emotional state. A bedroom that exudes expired products or strong smells compromises the quality of rest. Aromas should be natural, soft, and used with intention. A small vase with lavender or herb sachets are simple and effective options to maintain harmony without overloading the senses. Remember, the air you breathe while you sleep has a direct impact on your heart, your mind, and your spirit. Taking care of this is a silent gesture of self-love. Another often neglected aspect is the state of mattresses and pillows. At first glance, they seem just part of the furniture, but they carry years of use, sweat, mites, and accumulated energies. Cayce advised that rest is only full when the body finds adequate support and the environment is free of invisible impurities. Sunken mattresses, deformed pillows, or pillows full of old odors impair posture, sleep, and over time the health of the spine and joints. Making a periodic assessment of these pieces and replacing them when necessary is essential. Every night, your body needs to renew itself, and this only happens when it's in a space that favors this regeneration. More than comfort, the mattress and pillow should be instruments of recovery. The renewal of sleep starts where you lay your head and rest your body. And we can't forget about the curtains. Yes, even they exert a deeper influence than we imagine. Curtains that are too heavy, dark, or made of fabric that accumulates dust hinder the entry of natural light and the circulation of air. Cayce valued the presence of sunlight in the morning as an essential element for the balance of body and mind. Environments that remain dark during the day tend to generate lethargy, discouragement, and a feeling of confinement. Light, translucent curtains in light colors allow the room to receive the light in the right measure, creating an atmosphere of hope and vitality. In addition, they're easier to wash, which contributes to the overall cleanliness of the environment. The choice of curtains should be practical, conscious, and aligned with the proposal of lightness that the bedroom demands. It's one more detail that makes all the difference in the routine. Finally, but not least important, comes the television in the bedroom. For many, it's company on lonely nights or distraction before bed. But Cayce was firm in saying that visual and auditory stimuli before sleep disrupt the natural processes of internalization and repair of the body. Programs with heavy content, intense noises, or abrupt image changes activate the nervous system and prevent the brain from reducing its activity. Even when turned off, the presence of the television in the bedroom creates a constant invitation to distraction. Removing it from the environment may seem radical, but many who have made this choice report immediate improvement in the quality of sleep, mood, and even disposition upon waking. Replacing the TV with a moment of silence, a light read, or a quiet breathing exercise is a gift you can give yourself every night, without effort and with great return. Changing the bedroom isn't just a matter of aesthetics or organization, but of integral health. Cayce always reinforced that body, mind, and spirit are connected, and that any change in the external environment is reflected within us. When you remove excesses, unnecessary objects, or sources of tension from your personal space, you're telling yourself that you deserve peace, clarity, and well-being. This symbolic gesture has real effects. Many people who have adapted their bedrooms have reported improvement in mood, reduction in anxiety, and even relief from chronic pain. This is because the body responds to the environment, and the more this environment favors rest and lightness, the more it can recover. As the years advance, these cares become even more important. A clean and functional room is also a reflection of an organized mind and a soul in harmony. It's worth remembering that these changes don't need to happen all at once. Cayce taught about the power of constancy and intention. Every small step counts. Starting with a corner, a drawer, a change of lighting, or one less item on the nightstand can already bring a sense of relief. The idea isn't to impose rules, but to stimulate awareness of the impact of the environment on your well-being. Often we get used to discomfort without realizing it, accepting as normal what should already have been renewed. When you propose to look carefully at the space where you sleep, you're opening a new conversation with yourself. And this conversation can lead to profound transformations, which begin in the bedroom, but extend to your entire routine. The secret lies in the willingness to change, even little by little. The truth is that aging with quality requires conscious choices. Cayce didn't speak only of cures or prophecies, but of simple attitudes that, added together, transform lives. The bedroom is one of the most intimate places we have, and it needs to be treated as such. Instead of being a deposit for everything that doesn't fit elsewhere, it should be a sacred space reserved for rest, recovery, and meeting yourself. Every night our body performs invisible processes of healing and renewal. But for this to happen fully, it's necessary to provide conditions for the environment to favor this cycle. When the bedroom reflects calm, order, and care, sleep becomes deeper, the mind calms more easily, and awakening happens with more lightness. It all starts with how we choose to live our spaces. Throughout life, we accumulate objects, memories, and habits without realizing how much they influence our internal state. Cayce taught that every choice made with awareness, even the simplest ones, have the power to reorganize not only the environment, but also thoughts. The bedroom, being the place where we start and end each day, carries an enormous symbolic weight. If it's loaded with old things, mess, or visual noise, this tends to be reflected in how we feel throughout life. Therefore, removing what no longer serves isn't a task of purely material detachment, but emotional and spiritual as well. Each item removed opens space for something new, more lightness, more comfort, more peace. It's a process of liberation that can be profoundly liberating, and that, when done with care, transforms the relationship with one's own time, one's own body, and one's own history. And it's precisely this transformation that makes the process so valuable. It's not just about following recommendations or external rules, but about building an environment that truly resonates with the person you've become. Cayce said that we shouldn't live prisoners of who we were, but rather in harmony with who we are now. This also applies to spaces. A bedroom that's coherent with your current phase of life is a silent but powerful support. It welcomes, protects, and strengthens. Often this change alone is enough to trigger others. A new disposition upon waking, more willingness to take care of yourself, more tranquility when sleeping. Therefore, it's worth observing what in your bedroom represents who you are today and what only occupies place out of inertia. This exercise of observation is the first step towards a renewal that can be much bigger than it seems. By understanding the importance of these details, you begin to realize that caring for the bedroom is, in fact, caring for yourself. And it doesn't take much to start. One gesture at a time, one corner at a time, one less item each week already opens the way to a healthier environment. Cayce stated that everything that involves sleep needs to be treated with reverence. After all, it's at this moment that the body heals, the mind reorganizes, and the spirit connects with more subtle dimensions. Therefore, allowing the bedroom to reflect order, softness, and welcoming isn't luxury, it's necessity. And the most interesting thing is that the more you take care of this space, the more it takes care of you. The feeling of resting in a clean, airy, and harmonious environment is a daily gift, accessible and transformative. At the end of this journey of reflection, perhaps you'll realize that some changes in the bedroom don't require physical effort, but rather an internal decision to prioritize well-being. Cayce reminded us that every attitude aligned with health and serenity expands our connection with life. By removing objects that no longer make sense, you also remove invisible weights that were being carried unnecessarily. The result may be subtle at first, but over time it reveals itself in the form of more peaceful nights, lighter days, and a clearer mind. The space around you directly influences how you feel, think, and live. And when that space is clean, organized, and welcoming, it becomes a true ally in your journey. It's not about rigid rules, but about conscious choices that respect your phase and strengthen your self-care. If these ideas resonated with you, perhaps it's a good time to look more carefully at your bedroom. Start small without rushing, respecting your limits, and listening to what the space is asking of you. With each gesture of care, you reaffirm that you deserve an environment that favors rest and recovery. Cayce believed deeply in the power of silent action, and few actions are as silent and powerful as preparing a bedroom that welcomes, that heals, and that allows the body to age with more dignity. The bedroom is more than a room. It's a mirror of how we take care of our intimacy. If it's full of noise, it's difficult to hear one's own soul. But when it's clean, light, and silent, everything within us aligns more easily. That's where the real transformation begins. If you believe that these guidelines can help other people live better, please consider sharing this video with someone you care about. Perhaps a friend, a relative, or someone who also needs to renew their space to find more peace. And if you want to continue receiving content like this, feel free to subscribe to the channel. The idea here is simple: to bring reflections that make sense, that respect your time, and that help make your days lighter and more conscious. Each video is made with care, inspired by teachings that cross generations and continue to make a difference. May this content have been useful to you, and may, when you look at your bedroom today, you see not only walls and furniture, but a place where your rest, your healing, and above all, your peace begins.